All right, welcome back to PALS TV. So we had a lot of fun with the our story this morning, and I think that we will be continuing that on over the next few weeks. And but this morning we wanted to wrap up the meal prep and discussions that we've been doing with Brooke. So I know that you've given us a lot of breakfast and lunch tips. So
Yep.
today you have some dinner tips, dinner thoughts for us. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. I'm really excited. I tried to look into really prepping for one. How many of you are cooking just for yourself? Raise your hand. Are you just cooking for yourself, or are you cooking for a family or more people? If you're cooking for yourself, give me a thumbs up. It's just one meal.
Chef Phil cooks for himself a lot. Dusty
Okay.
also cooks for himself sometimes, right?
Yeah. So if you're cooking for others, then this can still apply. But I know sometimes it's really tricky to just want to make a meal for yourself. It just kind of is like not as fun. You're not as inspired. You're like,
Right.
do I want to get all these, ingredients and everything out? And so sometimes you sacrifice what you would cook and actually what might be good for you because you decide, I just don't want to get all that stuff out, or I don't want to spend the money on, buying this amount of stuff whenever it's just for me. I hear that a lot from, people who, when their kids go off to college and they're like, "Man, it's just really boring cooking for just me and one other person." So even cooking for two is sometimes difficult. So I thought we would kind of go over some simple dinners for one person. Does that sound good for you guys? Yeah. And you guys really do well on these segments. It seems like you're really engaged. So I love to hear your input on some things. Maybe we just all really love food. I don't know. So first, do any of you ever eat cereal for dinner? Be honest. Do you ever eat cereal, Dusty, for dinner? Do you? Maybe. Or Pop-Tarts? I don't know. We talk about eating cereal, but you can do everything from popcorn to breakfast. Dinner is just full of possibilities. Now, those aren't maybe the best options to have, but that could be something that you would do on a solo dining night. But we're talking about other things like wings today and other chicken dishes, salsa with pork chops, maybe even noodles or fresh vegetables. So we're going to dive into some different options. You guys can give me feedback as you want to jump in the conversation. So definitely want you to jump in and talk with me. So one of the best things you can do is start off a dinner with a salad. Does anyone like salad? I know we've talked about ranch dressing. Yeah, thumbs up on the ranch dressing. Salad can go to waste so quickly. How many of you you have to throw a bunch of salad away because it just gets yucky by the time that you get around to it. So we want to add in salad, if you can, at the beginning of every dinner. Like that might be a good option to help you, even health-wise. It's like I'd never get any greens in all day, and now it's time for dinner, and I really need to have some vegetables in my diet. So if you can already plan, if you like salad, if you could make a small side salad every dinner and start out with that, that salad that you bought for the week is going to get eaten up. If you could just promise yourself and commit to, I'm going to have a small side salad every time I eat dinner. That way we're starting off our dinner with something good and healthy and getting that nutrition in there. Now, don't load it down with the ranch dressing, Dusty, because sometimes we pour a lot of that dressing on there, don't we? What I like to do with salad is make sure that I don't put the juicy things in it. So if you like peppers, or if you like to add onions or cauliflower or broccoli, any of tomatoes, I don't like to put those things on my salad and mix it together for the whole week. What I like to do is separate it, because once you introduce like tomatoes to your salad, it's going to get yucky more quickly. So what I do is just leave my salad, my greens, my leafy vegetable, and then I have another Ziploc baggie of the other things that I like to put on top. So you could go ahead and prep for the week, but you don't want to combine it all together. Now, different things that you can make this into a full-on meal. Let's say that you're going to have a salad, not a side salad, but we're going to make this a big dinner salad. You can do the chef salad. Does anyone know what a chef salad looks like? A chef salad has meat on it. So you can do chopped up ham or turkey, pepperoni. I love putting that on a salad. You can also then add eggs. That's usually, so it's more of like a protein salad that's going to have all this good stuff on it. Cheese, that's also another topping for salads. And then you can look at, vegetables like those sugar snap green beans. I like those a lot. Carrots, we didn't talk about those. And then what about some meats like a chicken? If you wanted to do like a grilled chicken salad, or if you have chicken patties in the house, you could just chop that up and add it onto a salad. How about tuna, salmon, steak? Any of those can be added to a salad and then look really great and very filling. I also like toppings like cranberries or seeds and nuts. We've talked a little bit about that, croutons, and then of course your cheeses and then your dressing. And you really have a nice plate full of some goodness there that's also healthy for you and filling. Do you guys like salads? Give me a thumbs up if you're a salad eater. One of the suggestions in this, yeah, I see Dusty there. Does anyone else like salad? David doesn't like salad, so I wouldn't want him to get on here. He would say boo. Anyway, so Mediterranean salad was one idea they gave me on here. I'm not a big feta or goat cheese fan, but that is something that you would put on like a Mediterranean salad. So yeah. Hey, Nick, good to see you this morning. The next thing would be noodles. Now, there's so many ways to do noodles, right? I mean, we can talk about ramen noodles, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with. But what about your spaghetti noodles? And then beyond that, there's the bow tie. They look like little cute bow tie noodles. We have linguine. We have angel hair pasta. We have your lasagna. So there's so many ravioli. There's so many pasta options and noodle options. And they don't all have to be a red sauce, right? We can do a chicken Alfredo, which is more of a white sauce. Or we can even do your noodles with some mushrooms and olive oil. This sounds really good to me. Some garlic thrown in there. So there are other ways. Sesame. A lot of people do sesame shrimp. You can add shrimp in. You could do chicken. You can do your red meats. So there's all kinds of endless ways to fill up on not just noodles, but then add on there a protein and some vegetables. So if you kind of get the point of this, it's to make sure that we're well-rounded, right? That we're getting a variety of items in our dinner. So not just vegetables, not just a carbohydrate, which in this case would be our noodles, but also getting our protein and our vegetables. So we want to make sure that we have a plate that's colorful, that has, your reds and greens and yellows, but also has your protein and a carb. I'm not anti-carbs. Some people will say that's, carbs are really, they turn into sugar and fat on your body, but carbohydrates are still needed. So it's okay to add a carb in there. You just don't want the whole thing to be carbs. You want to have a balance. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. This easy dinner would be to cook shrimp, which is quick. Shrimp is a really quick, you don't have to cook it a long time. And then some vegetables and add some pasta in and you've got dinner. Easy right there. Does that sound good to anyone? Do you guys like seafood? Give me a thumbs up if you're a seafood person. Yeah, Dusty, double thumbs, right. Who else? Anyone else? Trying to see if anyone else is talking to us here. So yeah, you can definitely find yourself filled up on something like that. Noodles, shrimp, get your pasta in. All right, and that would be an easy meal to have a side salad as a starter. I mean, perfectly easy meal to start with. Now, this next one is pork chops. Pork chops come in small size containers, so you don't have to get a big bunch of pork chops. You can get 2 or 3 or 4 even. And these are things that you could even cook and then use the next day for lunch. You could have it the next day, so it wouldn't be wasteful. Pork chops is something we have maybe every week or every other week in our house. I really just like to cook them with salt and pepper. I don't really do much to them. I put them in a pan with some olive oil, salt and pepper, and they're really tasty. So you can do them with bone in or bone out. So pork chops, we usually like to have a baked potato or a mashed potato as a side, and then a vegetable. So you can either have green beans or carrots. You could have corn on the cob right now is a really awesome side that's a vegetable. Um, so yeah, you could do baked potato, you could do mashed potatoes, you could do sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. So pork chop, one of the things that can spice up your pork chop would be to put, you could either use barbecue sauce as a side to dip your pork chop in, or you can even do like a picante salsa, and that would be really nice, or even a pineapple salsa. Or have you guys seen the mango sauces out there? And these come already if you want to just pick one up, or you can make your own salsa where you would chop up your tomatoes and maybe add in some pineapples. So there are ways for you to make your own, or you can just go ahead and pick one up at the store, add it to it, and you have a nice, it's even a really nice presentation. So you've got your pork chop and then you put your items on top. So that would be a really great dinner option as well. And then beyond that, you could also, once again, have your side salad for your starter. So now you've got your side salad, you've got some greens in you, you've got your pork chop, which is your protein. You also have your carbohydrate, which would be like your potato. And then you've got a salsa, you've got other vegetables, your corn on the cob you're having. So that's a really nice, well-rounded, balanced meal that would be simple for one person or two people, or you could also just do it and then have it the next day for lunch if you like leftovers. Some people, are you guys leftover people? Do you guys like leftovers, or are you more like, man, I don't want it again? Dusty, are you? Thumbs up if you are. You are? So it's nice to have it already made, right? You did it the night before and you don't have to worry about cooking tomorrow for lunch or even dinner. So that is a benefit to cooking for one, is sometimes it goes on and on. Nick, you don't like them? Yeah, I know. David does not like eating leftovers either, which makes it kind of difficult in our house because I'm like, oh, I don't want to cook again. We just made whatever. So, but I don't mind. Okay. This next one would be super popular, I think, with you guys, maybe more in the winter. I love this. It's grilled cheese. What a simple dinner. You've got your comfort food, your grilled cheese. How many of you like tomato soup with your grilled cheese? Yes, I know. So it just feels weird to eat grilled cheese without your tomato soup. I don't know. And then something else I've started doing, instead of having like the thick bread, I do that for the kids and for David, but where I was kind of watching my carbohydrate intake, I've got these flat wraps or even almost a quesadilla. So you would just grill the wrap instead of making it your bread being the bread. You would make your bread actually into a wrap. And so you just put I actually use shredded cheese if I do it that way, and just grill it on one side for a few minutes and the other side, and it's done. It's ooey gooey. It's really good, and it's not as thick. I don't feel like I'm eating that heavy bread and getting those carbohydrates. So that's a tip from me. The grilled ham and cheese, this group actually offered this up as an idea to add fresh pineapple and grill that in the skillet with it. And I guess they say it's really, I'm going to try it next time. Do you guys like pineapple? Anyone like pineapple? I really like pineapple. It's definitely like a sweet treat. So I could see having the grilled cheese and then your pineapple and then tomato soup. I'm kind of in the mood for that now. So once again, you could start with the side salad to get your greens in for the day. So you might want to do that as well. You could have those really prepped ahead of time, and that's something really easy to do. So don't forget about your salads. Okay, moving on. Let's see. There's endless chicken recipes, right? I mean, we could do just a regular American home cooking chicken where we have drumsticks, or you have your chicken legs. I actually have chicken legs in the crock pot right now, which sounds weird probably to some of you, but so I put jelly and barbecue sauce on top of my drumsticks, and I put them on low for 8 hours, and they'll be ready when we get home. Another way I like to make drumsticks is to put them in a pan in the oven and just flavor them with salt and pepper once again. That's another way we like to have those. I've even grilled drumsticks in the pan too, so on the stove top. So you can do that as well. That's drumsticks. You can also do, I love chicken thighs wrapped with bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? Yum. I love bacon. So that's another way. Yes, Dusty, I see ya. I mean, if you don't like bacon, I don't know if we can even be friends, right? Like me, I'm like coffee and bacon. You must like coffee and bacon for us to be friends. Do you like coffee, Dusty? No. So yes, I think that bacon on anything is a good idea. Bacon's also a good thing on top of your salad, so you can add that on there. You can rub chicken. You can have like an exotic dinner with all these different chicken breast rubs that you might want to get. You can buy them pre-made. You can make your own with different spices, depending on your taste level and what you kind of like more than another. You might want to just do it to your own preference. So beyond just a chicken breast, you can also do fried chicken. Another option. You could do the shake and bake, and I helped, right? You ever heard that commercial? It's shake and bake, and I helped. So what happens with that is it's a pre-mixed kind of crumbles that you would put into like a baggie, and then you would go ahead and put your chicken into, say, eggs or a milk, and then you would put it down in the shake and bake bag and shake it up, and then it has a nice coating on it. So then you can bake those or fry them as well. Now, I'm sure there's many I'm missing. You could do like a chicken salad. We talked about that. You could also do like a Chinese. So like a General Tso's chicken or a spicy Szechuan chicken. So you can get into a little bit of that as well. You can make a chicken Parmesan. So there's a lot of chicken recipes and options out there. Sometimes I get tired of chicken because it just feels like something we're always eating at our house anyway. So sometimes I'm like, I don't want any more chicken this week. I want to have something else just to flavor it up and make things different. Chicken is one of those things that if you cook it as a solo person and you make one, if you're cooking for one and you do a couple, pieces of chicken, you can also make this into multiple dinners throughout the week. So if you made your chicken up front that week and you just made it in the oven would be fine. A couple chicken breasts, let's say. So that night you might just be eating chicken and mashed potatoes and your salad and a side. And then maybe the next day you chop up that same chicken and you do chicken tacos. So now you have your tortillas out and you shred your chicken. You put that on there. You can add your vegetables, cheese, whatever you like on a chicken taco. You could also make, a chicken wrap. You could chop up your chicken and make it into your chicken salad for even lunch the next day. There's so many ways that you can use the chicken if you prep it up front. So if you cook chicken one night, you might want to add a couple pieces on there, and then you can use it throughout the week, and their dinner's done for several days. And then you're not cooking and using the stove and having to worry about all that stuff. What about chicken wings? Who likes chicken wings? Chicken wings, I always talk about, they're so messy and they're not a very good first date option. If you go out on a date for the first time and you've got your chicken wings and you're like, you got stuff in your teeth and then your hands are like gross and you're like licking them, it's not a good first date option, but they are really good. And you can get them with the bone in already, or you can get boneless. You can get them where they're covered in a coating, and then so they're fried basically. And then you can do ranch again, Dusty. You can do a barbecue. You can do a honey mustard. Lots of ways to eat boneless wings. And then if you do the bone in, you can get all kinds of rubs or sauces. So if you are a teriyaki person, or if you love hot, 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 you've got it over here, some habanero. I'm more of a medium hot person. So I like more warm with a little sweet on it. So that's kind of where I find myself. If I'm at B-Dubs and Buffalo Wild Wings and ordering, I'm kind of there in the middle. I'm not a barbecue wing person. I'm not a teriyaki person, but a lot of people are. But I like a more hot with a little zing. I think what I get is Asian zing. It's called Asian zing. I like those a lot. They leave my lips like fiery a little bit. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's good if you're on a date. Anyway, okay, what about fish? We talked about fish. Dusty gave me a thumbs up that he likes fish. Anyone else like fish out there? Nick, do you like fish? Do you want to write me and tell me if you like fish to eat? Of course. I like fishing too. Actually, I don't like fishing, but if you take me fishing, I almost always catch a fish. And people were like, you don't even like to fish. And they always get on your line. I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I like salmon. I'm not really actually a huge fish person, but I do like salmon. And it's super quick, super easy to make. I do like tilapia, if that's how you say it. I hope it is. I like fried shrimp. I'm not a super like just eat raw shrimp person, like cocktail shrimp. But some people really like that. Seems like fish is a quicker dinner for me. And fish, what I like to put on the side with fish would be rice. So how many of you are rice people? You like your either whole grain or your white rice? Yes, Dusty is a rice person. So rice is filling. It's a good carbohydrate. If you use the multigrain or the whole grain, you're going to get some of those multigrains for the day, which is also going to be good for fiber and good for you as well. So yes, if I have fish, I like to have a side of rice, and then you can do some vegetables, some steamed. You can have broccoli. You could do your green beans. I like to fry green beans sometimes too. So if you get those long freezer ones, you can actually fry them up with some olive oil. They're tasty that way. Sometimes I do green beans and mushrooms. Does anyone like mushrooms? Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, awesome. So we can do a mushroom and green bean mixture fried in the pan. You can put that on top of a bed of rice. You've laid your rice on the plate, put that on top, your vegetables, and then a nice, piece of salmon or tilapia or cod. I don't know. There's other names. I'm not a big fish person, but I like salmon. So, and you can really cook the salmon and green beans in the same you want to get your green beans first because they're going to take longer, but then you can add your salmon in to the same dish. And for the person doing the dishes, that's super helpful, right? Like less that I have to actually scrub and clean. And since we're talking about cooking solo, many of you are probably feeling that way too. Like I don't like to do the dishes and have to cook the meal. So less dishes, better for us. So yeah, seared salmon and garlic green beans on a bed of rice, and voila, dinner. Now, how many of you like breads? I was talking a little bit about breads earlier. Of course, we like breads. So biscuits, you can do crescent rolls. You could do a sourdough bread. Do you guys always have bread with your meal? Like some people have to have bread with their dinner. Like it's just, I don't know. They want a piece of bread of some sort, some bread, biscuit, or something with dinner. Are you guys like that? Not necessarily. My kids like that. Even breadsticks, they want either like a breadstick or crescent rolls. They like those. Or biscuits, like a can of biscuits. I don't like home make them. But anyway, you could actually add that to this meal as well, because technically you're not having a lot of carbs here. We're talking about balancing our diet. So the only carbohydrate you're having is rice. You're having your salmon. You could even add shrimp to that. And then you have your green beans, your garlic green beans with mushrooms. Well, why not have like a crescent roll to go with that? That might be a nice addition to your dinner. So yeah, that'd be an easy way to add a little bit more carbohydrate to balance things out. Let's see. We talked about chicken wings. We've talked about salmon. A lot of these have seafood ideas on them. Let's see what else we've got here. You can also let's talk about some pizza. Do you guys like to just order pizza, or do you make pizza? Orders up, make pizzas down. You like to order? Yeah. Do you ever make pizza, Dusty? Do you ever make it? Sometimes. And there you are. There are times where, like, yes, it's so much easier sometimes now just to go and buy it because it's simple, it's already made. But you can also get your frozen, right, pizzas, but you want to doctor them up. They're never exactly the way that you want them, right? One of the best tips I can give you is to load on some more cheese. So when you get out your freezer pizza and you open it up and you're ready to pop it into the oven, add some toppings, add some things that are vegetables that are going to help you get some good veggies in for the day. So your green peppers or your onions, or you can add red peppers. You can even add like spinach on pizza, and then go ahead and coat it again with a layer of cheese. Now that's going to help you have like a better feeling of not having just a freezer pizza, but adding to it and making it a little more special. Some of you probably have used the Chef Boyardee pizzas or the kit pizzas that you get and you make your dough. There are also ways to make it healthier, like using a wheat flour. So you can make homemade pizza and use wheat flour if you were interested in that. Something really popular now are cauliflower pizza crust. Have any of you tried those? Cauliflower pizza crust? Don't tell my kids, but last night my mom made cauliflower pizza. We went over to her house. She didn't tell anyone, show me, but 3 of my 4 kids ate it and they didn't think anything of it. So, they ate like vegetables last night, basically. It was like a big breaded vegetable. They thought that it was pizza, but it wasn't. So it totally tricked them. And I feel good about it. Like they've got some more vegetables in them and they could use some of that in their diet. So yeah, cauliflower pizza now is super popular, low carbohydrates. You can top them however you want. You can make a Mediterranean pizza. You could make a barbecue chicken pizza. You can make the ham. Yeah, Dusty's had the cauliflower pizza before. Awesome. I like it. Did you buy it at the store or did like a restaurant make it, Dusty? Did you buy it at the store? I don't know if you can unmute. Can you unmute yourself? Let me see. Or you might be typing. That'd be fine too. With cauliflower pizza there's so many ways to make it. We have a local place here. It's called Zach and Scotty's, and they make a cauliflower pizza, and it's super good. Just really hits the spot every time. And sometimes I'll get like, sausage on it or mushrooms. I like a lot of toppings on my pizzas. So my kids are really boring because they just want cheese. And I'm like, ugh, cheese again. So I'll make them pick things off. I'm not an olive person, but my dad likes olives on his pizza. So there's so many things you can add to your pizza. Now, pizza is also one that you can add your salad to, right? You should have a salad maybe before you dive into your pizza. So once again, using up that big bag of salad or that big container of salad that you bought this week, and you want to get some more vegetables in. And so now I'm committed that every day I'm going to eat the salad first, and even if it's a small side salad, and then go into my main meal. So yeah, I think that is a really smart way for us to incorporate salad and green leafy vegetables. Now, along the lines of pizza, have any of you ever made like a pizza bake dish? So this would be more like, and you would eat this for days probably, but you would basically make like spaghetti type. So you're going to make some noodles, so some spaghetti noodles, and then you're going to put them into a baking dish. And you're also going to add in cheese, and you're going to add in pepperoni, and then you're going to bake it. Put cheese on the top of it and you bake it, and it's this like pepperoni pasta. Super good, super easy, and one that you could eat on for days. It's kind of like the idea of baked spaghetti, but it's more pizza oriented instead of just spaghetti sauce. So you're going to have this pepperoni filling to it. We've talked about for lunch even soups, but that's another one that you may want to incorporate, and you would have like a soup and a salad. So you would make like a chili, or we talked about David's award-winning chili last week, chili, or you could do a cheddar potato or a baked potato soup. That's really good with bacon. Once again, I'm bringing up bacon. Broccoli cheddar soup, clam chowder. There are many options of soups out there that are already pre-made or that you can make. How many of you like beans? Have you guys ever had like beans and cornbread? Oh man. Yes. Yes, Dusty's typing, so I can't wait to hear this. Now we put a lot of ham in our beans. So, you've got to let them soak overnight. Got to let your beans soak in water, because they're going to get all puffed up. And then you're going to boil them the next day and make your mixture, your soup. But we put a ton of ham in our beans, and it's so flavorful. I mean, they're just so good that way. And then I love cornbread. So we have, what's it called? Cast iron. So we have cast iron skillets, and I love to make my cornbread in cast iron. There's just this crispness to it. And I really kind of am I didn't realize this, but I think I am a cornbread snob. Like, it has to be really good. And I like a little butter on it, and it needs to be warm, like right out of the oven. So I like that too. So, yeah, beans and cornbread. Okay, awesome. You've had that too. Okay, so we're talking about soups. Are there any other soups that I'm missing? We talked about tomato soup earlier. Have I missed like your favorite soup that you're like, man, Brooke, you've really missed it. This is one of my favorite soups. I know. Vegetable, or even like a beef vegetable. We haven't talked about that. So this is an easy meal to put together. Doing some beef stew or just a vegetable soup. So cutting up potatoes and putting in carrots and green beans. Super easy. Ooh, what's this? Caribbean chicken soup and plantains. Do tell me more. Like, I think that sounds amazing. Are the plantains like on the side? Is it something you put on the side? No. Oh, in it? In it. Awesome. Wow. I'm going to look at the recipe for something like that. Okay, that sounds good. What's the base? Is it like chicken broth-ish, or what's the base of that? Chicken broth. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I need to look up the recipe then. So Caribbean chicken with plantains. Awesome. That sounds really good. And you can, yeah, please send it to me. That would be great. Yes. So is this making you guys hungry? We've missed the basics, like hamburger, cheeseburgers, and fries. That would be a great, easy meal for a solo person to make, right? And something I like to do when I have burger night is I like broccoli. So I'll add that as a side, and I feel a little better about myself, I guess. What about chicken sandwiches? We haven't even talked about that, having a chicken sandwich, and then chips. There's nothing wrong with doing quick, you don't have to bake everything and have this large layout just to have dinner. I mean, you can have a pickle spear on the side with some chips and your sandwich, your chicken sandwich, or you can make it, do your bun and have your hamburger. Hot dogs. Usually when we have hot dogs, we have mac and cheese, right? Like typical American family. I just thought of something else that we like to make, or that I like to, tacos. We haven't talked about tacos. So some of those taco type meals, I mean, whether it's a quesadilla, whether it's an enchilada, or just maybe even fajitas, chicken fajitas, I really like that. These are also really good ways to go low carb if you want to. You can not have the tortilla or not add the chips. So those are easy ways to make your diet a little more diet friendly. But also I've seen on Facebook, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's it's like a taco table. Have you seen this? So they put foil all over their dinner table. And then they go around and they put chips all around the entire table, tortilla chips. Then they come through and they put taco meat all over top of those chips. Then they come through and they put like sauce and taco sauce. And then they'll put cheese all over it. And then they might put sour cream. So they have this basic taco table that you would just come up to your section and then eat right off the table, right off the foil of this amazing taco bar. So it's kind of cool. Does that sound yummy to you guys? It sounds good to me. I don't know if that's really a solo meal though. And I don't really know if it's COVID friendly because you're like totally sharing like food off the same table, but if I go, I want to go eating tacos, right? I don't know. Anyway, one more thing I thought of when I was talking about tacos was, it's left me now. Chinese night. So now we could go into like Italian. You could have theme nights, like Italian night where we would have our chicken parmesan or our spaghetti or lasagna, or even your pepperoni pizza dish that we talked about. Or you can have, so that's Italian night. Then you might have Chinese night. And you could have your, your meat of choice, whatever that would be, your peppered steak or your General Tso's chicken, whatever you're into. And then adding some vegetables and rice and an egg roll. That would be good. So that would be like your Chinese night. And then maybe you would have a Mexican night. So you might do the loaded nachos, or you may do your quesadilla, or you might just do hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos. And then maybe you just have like your Thursday nights might be all American night. And so you may do like more of a hamburger and fries, or fish and chips, or you may do the chicken patty sandwich and fries. So, and there's so many different ways to do fries. I mean, they have sweet potato fries, they've got curly fries, they've got crinkle cut. I mean, there's so many ways. You can even make your own fries now with, chopping up a potato and drizzling them in olive oil and then putting other toppings on it. So, oh, that's what it was. That's what I was thinking, was about potatoes. Have any of you ever had a baked potato bar? The air fryer has saved my life. We've talked about this a lot, actually, right? We, Jonah and Aaron, they failed that on the quiz. Who was on the quiz last week? We did like some inventions that have just happened in the last 10 years. And the most wanted item, most wished for item on Amazon wish list of 2017 was the air fryer. And the air fryer has totally changed my life because I bake everything in it. I mean, literally everything. You can do corn dogs and hot dogs and your chicken nugget type stuff and your chicken patties. Yesterday, I actually put Chipotle chicken or salmon burgers in there. So there were these salmon burgers already made up, and I put those in there. You can even do hamburgers in it. Who has an air fryer? Raise your hand if you have an air fryer. If you don't, you guys need one. You do. You borrow one. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. You need one, or ask for one for Christmas, because you can cook everything in there. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, pretty much everything. You can cook a whole chicken in them now. So you would just put a chicken in the air fryer, like with the arms, everything on it. You just put your chicken in there and you could bake it. So yeah, air fryer is a must. But my last thing here, I was talking about baked potato bar. So you can just do a bunch of baked potatoes, and then you have all these toppings out. So it's not just your sour cream and your butter. It's salsa, and it's cheese melted, and it's bacon, all these toppings that you can put. It's chili sauce. It's anything that you want, you can put in there. So I think it would be totally awesome if you guys wanted to try some of these things that we've talked about today. And if you don't have an air fryer, I think you need to get one. So that's my segment. That's our dinners cooking solo, making sure that we have great food accessible to us, and that we don't allow just cooking for one to be a stumbling block to us cooking healthy, or making sure that we use our leftovers well. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the air fryers are awesome. We did we had a bunch of leftover baked potatoes this weekend, and but what we did was chop them up, because they kind of harden back up a little bit. Chop those up and put them in like a skillet with some with like some onions and little, like, make like breakfast potato kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like recycling your baked potatoes from, because
Yes.
that's, like you said, I think that's always the issue when you're cooking for yourself or a small group, is just you feel like you have so much leftovers,
Right.
So but it kind of makes you get to be a little more creative, on making the leftovers. So does anyone have any good leftover ideas, like a good trick that they've ever used that maybe everyone could benefit from? Dusty, what's your favorite leftovers?
I like them all.
I like them all. All right, fair enough. Do you
Yes.
ever
My
do you
other
ever
favorite
have
leftovers is
leftover
I like them
night?
all too.
Yeah, does anybody ever have leftover night where you just like you can have like leftover steak next to leftover hot dogs next to like leftover pierogies or something like that, like just some random like we're emptying the fridge night. Do you have those at the Price household?
Well, David will tell you the weirdest thing he just was like, this was the oddest night of his life ever, was I literally made, was it spaghetti noodles, David? Spaghetti noodles and hot dogs together.
Spaghetti and hot dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
What
Did you
was it?
say?
It was hot dogs and mashed potatoes. And it was
Yeah.
potatoes.
Hey,
Yeah. It's.
I wasn't feeling inspired. That's what he always says. He can tell when I'm inspired to cook and when I'm not. So.
Yeah. No. Cooking. You can definitely. I think when you cook with a bunch of love and inspiration, I feel like everyone can kind of tell. I feel like cooking is something that it's like art, it expresses your mood, because sometimes, we go the extra mile and set the table real nice and put some, we actually fold the napkins,
Yeah.
and then other times you just, it doesn't feel
It's paper.
like,
It's paper plates, and get your own.
yeah. So I think that's a good way to think about how you guys cook is it's art and it's expression of yourself. So I mean the segments with all of the breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas have been fantastic, and it just shows that you're an artist in your own. And we're all artists, and we all just have those certain things that we're good at doing and expressing ourselves and all that stuff. So thank you for sharing all of that helpful information, Brooke. It's always nice to have you on. For everyone else, we're gonna hang out, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes with some fun trivia. So stick around.